My name is Margaret Ann Windsor. I have to use the name Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married a Childers. This involves my kidnapping in 1941 from Buckingham Palace and the takedown of my father, Edward VIII, who was married to my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor. He never married Wallace Simpson. My dad was married to my mom in 35-36, and the plot to take him down was the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers. Joe Kennedy was appointed ambassador by the Jew, President Roosevelt. Rockefellers are Jews, they control your press, and Bilderbergers control the banking and the press also. What I want to put up here is I wrote about mind control murders back in 78. I mentioned Larry Flint because of Hustler magazine, because he was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, while I was doing the book in Marietta. By the way, I had a letter from the FBI, ongoing investigation, national security involved. June the 23rd, my father's birthday of 1979 is when I got the letter. Now, I thought it was because of the book I wrote on mind control and patterns, but turned out it was more than that. It's about my kidnapping, and I was flown out to Mr. Flint's when one of the congressman doctors, Larry McDonald, was on the KAL jet, the passenger jet that went down en route from Juneau, Alaska. And take note of the word Juneau, future reference. Went down en route to Seoul, South Korea. He was on it, and I was flown out to Mr. Flint's August the 31st when the plane went down in 83. And I didn't win the election, but Mr. Flint did an endorsement that was actually in April of 84, and he said I knew who was responsible for his shooting. Now, there's a long list of them, the murders that can be proven, because mind control is a mechanism that was used, the murder weapon, and these were deliberately done by the agency and can be proven. So all I'm going to put down here is this. I've told about the Aurora, Colorado, James Holmes. Mental illness is the scapegoat. It has nothing to do with its programming and mind control. It has nothing to do with that. And it's quite a shame when someone can lock someone up for a crime they didn't commit. They're programmed. And to make it worse, misdiagnosis is done, and they put them on psychotic drugs, which is a living hell in itself. What if this was your child? They can do it in mass, and by the way, they can mass armies. But by the way, don't let me forget his name. The young gentleman that was put to death, Oklahoma City bomber, Timothy McVeigh. He told you that he was in the U.S. Army and they put a chip up his buttocks. So now I want to go to this. I've just put up the video saying that this one was a program shooter too. And I put most of this up. If you care to go back and look, today I put it up. Now then, I just heard where this young man in the Fort Lauderdale shooting went to the field office of the FBI in Anchorage, Alaska. Told them that he was under his mind was being controlled, and that he was hearing voices telling him what to do. Well, he went to the right source, I can tell you, and the right place, Anchorage. So I know I answered my own question. I told in the other video he was programmed to go there, and he was. So the Anchorage, Alaska is the one that if this is ever brought before a hearing and before a court to where, or before a hearing, congressional hearing, to where the media is forced to tell it. You can't disprove this one. The Anchorage, Alaska, that one by itself alone, with evidence involved, will prove it. If that one's true, then the rest of them, you can see, are true. Okay? Don't blame the wrong people, because I'm going to tell you something. I've been telling this for a long time. Nobody cared about what happened to me. Nobody cared about the Brits. They invaded. Well, I'm going to stop here, okay? I've been called names, and I've been kept in pigsties, is what it amounts to, and called every name in the book. And I only told the truth, just like Julian Assange has told. And he's been called names, and look at what's happened to him. And they've got a committee formed with John McCain to shut him up, calling him every name in the book they have.